How's it going, guys?
What's up? Right here.
Nice one, mate.
Congrats on the win. Amazing performance. Nasty elbow. Can you tell me about your game plan in this fight?
Yeah, so obviously the game plan was to keep it standing. We didn't really want to go to the floor too much. We knew that if it did hit the floor, I'll be able to handle myself. We'd been working a hell of a lot, actually, this whole fight week, just working from guard to make sure that he wasn't able to get strong overhooks. Because actually in the clinch, he was quite strong from the overhook position. But that's exactly what he wants, because he wants to drag you into where he's best, which is his ground. So ultimately, for me, it was just to beat up his leg, try and get the hands landing. Ended up that we ended up in the clinch quite a lot. But yeah, I got the job done. That's the main thing.
It was the first round. At the very end of the first round, when you landed that elbow, did you know that he was done?
Initially, I didn't. I landed a couple of big shots with the hands first, and I could hear him sort of wincing in his voice. That was the telltale sign for me to just keep going. And then I landed a couple of big shots, and then I was in range. I knew I had to land elbows to finish it. I knew I couldn't just finish it just with the punches. So as soon as I closed the range off of his guard, I landed one elbow, and then the second one, I knew it was a pretty bad one, but I thought he was probably going to continue for the next round. And then when I saw him just kind of stay there, I was like, that was a pretty good elbow, I'm guessing.
You were very happy to get this fight because now you could know who the best fighter from the UK was. Turns out to be you. You beat him and ultimately you retired him. What could you tell us about Paul Craig's career?
Paul Craig is an absolutely incredible athlete, and he is a legend of MMA. Not just a legend of UK MMA, but I'm talking MMA in general. He's beaten two former champions and one current champion at light heavyweight. He's beaten a whole host of high-level names. He's been in the top 10 of light heavyweight for many years. Like I say, he's an absolute legend. He's an amazing athlete, and I really did look up to him. I've been wanting to fight him as well, or I knew that somewhere down the line they'll probably make this fight happen, and it ended up that it happened today, and I was very thankful for that opportunity. He's an absolute stand-up guy, an amazing human being, and an absolutely great fighter, and I wish him all the best in his retirement.
Like you said, he's finished some of the best guys in this division. 3 champions, I think, in total. They call him the best, worst fighter of all time in the UFC. Would you agree?
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that statement. I just think he's an amazing fighter. The best. I don't know who came up with that one, but he's just an incredible fighter through and through, and that's that.
You have now 4 wins in a row, 3 of them being finishes. You've been improving every time you get into the octagon. You called for a bigger name next. Do you have someone in your mind?
I definitely want to be fighting that top 15. It's something that I've kind of literally been on the edge of achieving, especially with this run that I've been putting on. You've got guys like Alonzo Menefield, you've got guys like Ming Yang Zhang. These guys are literally at the pinnacle of the sport. They're just into the top 15. I want to test myself against the best in the world. Even Johnny Walker. These guys. They're all the best in the world. They're all in the top 15 of the division. I want to test myself against the best in the world. I want to prove that I'm one of the best in the world. So like I say, those are the kind of names that I'll be looking to fight, and I hope the UFC gives it to me.
Last question for me. UFC 320, we'll see Ankalaev defend his belt versus Alex Pereira. What's your prediction for this one?
So I believe that Ankalaev will probably get the win again. He's got a very well-rounded skill set, a very tricky southpaw. Obviously Alex Pereira is another great in the MMA space, but I do truly believe that Magomed Ankalaev is the real deal, and I feel like he'll retain his belt.
All right, thank you, and congrats once again.
Thank you so much, mate.
Modestas here.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm fine, thanks. You?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Imagine, awesome, yeah. Simone Itata for Fight for Yours. I wanted to ask you, first of all, how did it feel when you in the exact moment when you realized that he couldn't continue, the fight was done? Because I'm not saying bittersweet, but it has to be weird a little bit, right? And you feel that maybe you're going to the second round, and then your elbow was so devastating that it's there.
Yeah, so obviously in my head I'm thinking, okay, like, you know, I've finished on top, I've landed some good shots, I've probably won that round, but in the second round I really need to start putting it on him. Like, I was just starting to feel my range in that first round, especially with the hands, and I was thinking to sort of start following up a little bit more. But I know that my ground and pound is really good. Me and my dad have been working extremely hard on it. Obviously, my team that have been with me here for the whole of fight, we've been working specifically in the guard how to negate all of his best areas, because obviously he's extremely dangerous on the ground, especially in his guard. You leave one limb open, you know, he's going to take it. But, you know, I know my jiu-jitsu is good, and I was glad that I was able to prove it there. I saw maybe one or two shots with the hands that started landing pretty good, and then I started closing the range a little bit. I landed one elbow, and like I say, with these shots I could hear him wincing, so I was like, I got to keep going. And then obviously that last elbow was the one that did it. I thought that potentially could continue, but when he stayed lying on the floor, I was like, all right, it's over. So that elbow must have been a pretty good one then.
And now you want to climb up the ranks, of course, climb up the top 15. And of course, the ultimate goal is the UFC championship. Does that path or that goal, would that feel almost incomplete if on that road you don't get that Khalil Roundtree Jr. rematch?
100%. The comeback story, I think, would only really mean something if I get that rematch. So obviously he's a lot higher up in the division at the minute, so I've still got to work my way up there, but that's definitely a fight I want. You know, he used a very devastating move, completely legal. He did what he had to do, but, you know, I want revenge at the end of the day. I want to get that one back. I've still got to work my way up to get that one, but 100% that fight's got to happen at some point.
Think he gets it done against Yuri, or he's going to lose that one?
That's going to be a very interesting matchup, to be honest with you, because both of them are very good strikers in their own particular ways. In my opinion, obviously, Yuri is a lot lighter on his feet, and maybe his movement will be the factor in that fight. So I am leaning a little bit more towards Yuri, but obviously, Khalil Roundtree is always extremely dangerous.
Thank you so much, and congrats again.
Thank you so much, mate. Yep.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Jeff.